Hey, thanks for tuning into the show. And also, make sure with so much content whizzing around out there, there's only one storytelling platform that helps you keep calm and stay informed and inspired: Flipboard. Now, what is Flipboard, you ask? Flipboard curates the world's stories so you can be smarter in your work, life, and play. Choose from thousands of topics to personalize Flipboard and get the latest stories from the best publishers and experts delivered to you 24/7. Much like David's life and observation, you're definitely going to want to stay informed, so access, utilize, and work with Flipboard. Get started now at flipboard.com. Welcome to David's Life and Observation with your host, David Welch. Have you ever started a podcast? Have you ever thought about starting a podcast? Have you ever tried to get a show off the ground? Are you wondering how to get your podcast on Apple, Spotify, and other places where you could possibly listen and perpetuate your message? Well, give Anchor a shot. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free. It's 100% your podcast and ridiculously easy to use. Thank you for listening to David's Life and Observation. Please keep the show going. Love you. Welcome to David's Life and Observation with your host, David Welch. Today's show is about Venezuela. Venezuela is often cited as the quintessential state of socialism in decay. A lot of people are like, well, if you want socialism, to just go to Venezuela. You know, they're suffering over there, and there's people being run over by fucking armored vehicles and shit. Well, that is absolutely fucking true. But what a lot of people have an idea of, outside of the oligarchy we live in, is democratic socialism with capitalists, with a good capitalist mindset, like Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Norway. Those countries, they do have universal health care. Now, having universal health care is a socialist construct, yes, but so are the police, which is a union that'll never be busted up, which is insane to me. We have socialist constructs all over the place with fire departments, EMTs. We mandate them to respond in a certain way, like we do our behavioral health system. So to say that we're totally devoid of socialist constructs in our own country is nonsense. But we do live in a fucking clandestine fucking oligarchy. Very few people hold all the power in the country. If you think this is bullshit, you're fucking delusional. If you don't think the president answers to people, you're fucking delusional. If you don't think our government officials are bought and paid for by corporations, you're fucking delusional. It's true. They are bought and paid for by corporations. We don't have a true Republican or true Democrat in the House right now or in the Senate that isn't bought and paid for. If they say they are, they're fucking lying. Even Bernie. Bernie's more than happy to fucking hold his hand out to get paid, to go speak, to do engagements, to do anything. Absolutely. That dude don't go nowhere without getting paid. You know? And it's what's stupid is I don't mind senators and congressmen and government officials doing a little extra work for a little side hustle money. But you already get a fucking salary. You already get money. So why, and I understand the reason why, like you're going to want to get funded by PACs, what you want to get funded by interest groups, and you know, essentially what it comes down to is they all work for alphabet companies. They all work for the government in some sort of way or fashion. They all work for corporations and the rich. I'm telling you. Well, stay in your chair, buddy. Okay. But essentially the point of my show is this. Don't knock an ideology without really understanding what people are talking about. A lot of people are not talking about true socialism. They're talking about integrating a couple more socialist constructs like universal health care. They're not talking about a true socialism. And if we did have a proper audit of the Fed... Sorry about that. So going back to, like I said, people attack and they say dumb shit to people to be antagonistic. And in today's day and age, I'm very surprised that people don't have the emotional intelligence to hold back with what they're going to say to people. They should at least process that information and a possible result of their actions before they open their gap. And here's what I'm talking about. Prime example of people who open their mouth and get checked. There are people who attack people's character. They make ad hominem attacks. They attack their features. They attack their bank account. They attack the job they do. They attack their criminal history. And we see it all the time. We see people being lambasted on the news all the time. And yeah, quite a few people have a criminal history. But with the state of law enforcement and the way it is, I'm now questioning all of those things I've seen in the past. Like, well, was that really true? Did this guy actually commit a crime? Or did the cops make up some bullshit charges and then they had no video to back up the guy's account? And they just went with what the officers said. How many people have been fucked and screwed over by our fucking socialist fucking police state that we live in? If you want to fight socialism, fight the fucking police state we live in. Fight the redcoats that are coming here and telling you what you can do and cannot do with your freedom. Because that's not freedom. We have the elite making more money and then fucking the lower people. We need to band together as a country. Fuck the country. We need to band together as the poor. And if this is reaching you and you're in that demographic of poor people, like most people are, we need to band together and really put our foot down when it comes to where the fuck our money goes. And if you think it's just the middle class, whose money is being attacked here, you're fucking delusional. Because we get taxed with every transaction we make, and we're the ones catching all the damn police fines and shit. So if you think we're not being taxed and heavily burdened by the state and the government doesn't get their pound of flesh from us, you're fucking stupid. And for every poor person's body that they put in a jail cell, they're getting government money for. So again, having that argument that, oh, well, you're not middle class, what do you pay in taxes? That's not even close to the true state of affairs. We pay our taxes with every purchase that we make. We pay our taxes with every time anybody who is poor gets booked into the jail. That's how we pay our taxes. And don't think we don't catch fines, fees. I mean, banks are literally sucking the poor dry. With fees, overdraft fees, with, changing from one account to another fee for breathing. There's fees for all kinds of shit. And you want to fucking be that redneck asshole out there and be like, well, just pull yourself up from the bootstraps. Motherfucker, if you have resources, you can do that. If you have a support team, you can do that. If you have a game plan and you have some sort of income in some sort of way, you can do that. But if you don't have motherfucking shoelaces and you have mouths to feed and you have things that you need to do, you don't have a disposable income. In fact, I would say a good 75% of the United States does not have real, true disposable income. Now, you may see people wearing new kicks, you may see people driving new cars, but they are putting themselves in the hurt locker by doing so. And if you want to call someone who's in the lower demographic fucking lazy and they have to have welfare and they have to rely on welfare to get by, and you want to sneer at the fact that they're on public assistance, you might want to look at the totality of what that person do. There are people that work fucking 40,
50, 60, 70 hours a week and still don't make ends meet because they're not getting paid enough to survive in the area they're living in. And some people don't have 2 fucking incomes going into a household. So all you ignorant fucking redneck motherfuckers out there that are like, my wife don't have to work. I'm the primary. Just imagine, you dumb shit. Like, let's say your hand gets lopped off in some sort of fucking accident, heaven forbid, and your wife actually has to go to work. Now, if she's not college educated and she's not, and you're turning on the role of now taking care of the kids, if you fucking can, or even know how, or you're still going to expect your wife to go to work, come home, and still take care of the kids. Because there are some assholes out there that are like that. But I digress. Anyways, that's the brief show today for David's Life and Observation. You have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up at dwelch9627@gmail.com.